So hi, welcome to Noise Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with
Andy from Young Red Sun.
And we're gonna ask some questions today about their new deluxe album, Still Point in a Turning World. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to it so far?
It's been great. It feels good to get this music out there. Yeah, we're excited about it.
Hell yeah, it bangs.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
So is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
Yeah, the title specifically was a little bit of a reminder to ourselves to kind of take a moment and be present, because I feel like so often we are looking either forward or dwelling on things that have happened in the past. So it was a little bit of an exercise for us to, like pump the brakes, take a second and like appreciate the things that are happening right now in our lives. And the photo on the photograph or on the cover was actually a photo taken by our buddy, a brilliant photographer and graphic designer, Jesse DeFlorio, who really like kind of captured the essence of that. It's just kind of like an open road in the middle of a desert, really. So if there's anything that's going to make you think about like the present, that felt like it to us.
For sure.
For sure. Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for this album?
Yeah, it was a little different than I think we traditionally do it, and different than I think a lot of songwriters traditionally write, but everybody was kind of forced to be thrown into the Zoom writing session world because of the pandemic and whatnot. So a lot of the songs were written not in person, which was a little strange. So generally, like one of us will come in with an idea and we'll kind of like bounce it back and forth. But I think there was a little bit more like solitude in the writing. But when we were able to get back in a room, those songs really came to life, and we really, I don't know, felt the spirit of them. So it was a little not quite as like sexy of like writing sessions as one might think.
Yeah, but, fair enough.
Although I don't know like what one thinks of like a young rising sun's writing session. I assure you it's not sexy. But yeah, no, it was fun to have the songs written and then get into the studio and actually hash out the production side.
Sure. And then like in terms of the Zoom writing sessions and whatnot, what was like the biggest challenge for you guys to like kind of overcome with that? Because I'm sure everything beforehand was written in person.
Yeah. I think we do like a decent amount of sessions with people, from all over, which is like one of the nice things about Zoom. Like you can write with somebody who's in London, for example, and otherwise you would never be able to do that unless you're actually in London. So it affords you those luxuries, but I think also the biggest piece of songwriting is getting into a room and being vulnerable and being very open with people, which is awkward to begin with a stranger, and then you throw a computer in between you guys, and it's hard to look at a screen and say, okay, yeah, let's get vulnerable. What's your biggest, deepest secret? Yeah. So there was a little bit of that in getting over that hurdle, I think. But I mean, the four of us are so comfortable together. It didn't really faze us so much, but yeah, it was definitely tricky. It was a mental hurdle to kind of get over. But once we kind of got in the swing of things, it got a little easier.
For sure.
That's perfect. So what song off this album took the longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
Well, so I would be in trouble if I didn't say my personal favorite was Ellison, because that's my wife's name and it's her song. And that kind of came the easiest. It was just, I don't know. I like had heard it in my head. It seemed like it had already existed and just kind of like spilled out. The most difficult one, which was on the original release, was probably Passenger. I went through a ton of different phases, and I think the original bridge was the chorus, and we're like, oh, we should make that the bridge, and then we're like, oh, we got to write a chorus again. So there's a lot of like song surgery, I guess, and piecing like different parts of songs together for that one. So that was a tough one. There's a lot of like banging our heads against a wall with that, but we got it, and we're really proud of where we got it to. So
hell yeah,
perfect.
So how'd the track list for the album come about? Did you guys write the opener be the opener be the opener, closer be the closer? Did you shuffle around, see what fits? What was that process like? And also a second part, we're obviously trying to talk about the deluxe here as well. How'd you guys like go about picking which songs like made the deluxe?
Yeah, so the original track listing, we're pretty like precious with how we like piece things together, or try to be precious at least. So the flow of an album is really important to us. Same way with the flow of like a set list, for example. There's got to be kind of like ebbs and flows of energy, I think, for every good record. And we were really conscious of that going into it. And kind of same thing with the deluxe. I think like if you put together a body of work and then you're like, hey, we're going to add this group of songs to the body of work, I think they need to all be able to gel together. So that was really important to us. And I think the majority of these songs we all wrote around the same time. And we were kind of holding off on the additional 5 songs that we added. We weren't exactly sure what we wanted to do with them, but they always kind of felt like they fit into the Still Point world, so to speak. So it felt natural to pop them on there.
So those were just kind of like the songs from the sessions that were like on the border of making the record that eventually made it.
Yeah, we love those songs, and we have always loved them from day one. And we were going to use them at some point. We were kind of like saving them, I think, for what's, beyond. And we were like, you know what, let's add them. They feel cohesive and like part of Still Point. So we popped them on there. Yeah.
And I just like to say, in terms of the track list, I respect that you guys still kind of like put time and effort into the track list, like in the age of Spotify and everybody just shuffling everything.
I know, like for the 10 people that are listening through the album, like we hope you enjoy it. But
well, you can make it 12 because I know Gloria and I both listen to it front to back.
Sweet, there we go. We'll take it. I love it. Yeah, no, I know. It's like, it's a little bit of a bummer the way people are digesting music these days. Like I miss sitting and listening through an entire album. I mean, I don't miss it. I do it, but I wish that were still more a thing. But it
is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So would you be able to tell us where Headspace was at while you were creating this record?
Oh boy. I think the majority of Young Rising Sun songs come out of really dark places. And I think being in the pandemic and sort of in a lockdown state encouraged us to find ways to escape it. And the best way for us to do that was to write songs that made us feel good. And felt inspiring to us. So that's sort of the Sun's mantra, I think, for lack of a better word. We try and make the best out of shitty situations and find the silver linings.
I respect that.
Oh.
Hell yeah. So how do you recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Say do it in the car with friends, in the dark with headphones on? Is it a workout album, party album? What do you personally recommend?
I would say a highway album, windows down, just cruising.
Hell yeah. Mm-hmm. Right by the beach.
Yeah.
Great. And how did you personally listen to the record for the first time?
Doing that, actually.
Really?
Yeah, it felt right. So I think I didn't do it as I actually, since it was released, I haven't sat down and listened to the full thing yet, but I took a trip home. I'm originally from Ohio, and I took a trip home, and it's a long drive, so I actually like sat and listened through the whole thing. And I don't know, I was alone. I kind of love the solitude of long drives and being alone. There's just like something peaceful about it.
Unless you're very tired, then it sucks.
That is true. Then it's tough. Yeah. And Pennsylvania is a really long state that seems like it's never going to end. So yes, I you know that. But no, that's sort of like my me time to really like internalize everything and like sit with stuff. So that was the first time I listened to it when I was going home, and it was like the first time I was going home in like several years. So it felt good.
Oh, very cool.
That's perfect. Right. Yeah. So this one should be super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this record for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
Okay. Optimistic. Driving. Not like car driving, but like and present.
Oh.
All right. That's good.
Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
So in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the album?
Just something. Yeah, like I don't, if they hate it, cool. If they love it, cool. I don't know. Art is all about like feeling something, I think. So I just hope people listen to it and feel something. Ideally inspired and happy, but if they hate it, that's fine too.
Fair enough.
Oh. Yeah.
At least you felt something.
Exactly.
So what is your favorite memory that you made while creating this album?
Boy, it's tough. I don't know if there's like a specific memory that I can think of off the top of my head, but I think it's just, you know, we all have really busy lives, and when we get together for band stuff, it's not all that often that we're able to. And when we do, I mean, we're best friends, so just being able to spend that time together, it's like hard to get work done sometimes, but just being with the guys is the best. I don't know, nothing specific, but just in general, being with the homies.
Yeah.
That's so wholesome.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So picture this: you're on tour, you're at a gas station for a rest stop. What is your snack of choice?
Oh man, it's tough for me. So I can't have gluten. I've got a gluten intolerance, and Steve, our drummer, and Julian, our bassist, are both vegetarian, and usually try to be vegan. So like most places, it is hard to like please everyone.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for our tour manager. God bless him. But my go-to is generally like lunch meat, just because it's like
gluten-free.
Not horrible. I mean, it's not great. A lot of sodium, I guess, but gluten-free. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You're just eating lunch meat like straight out of the packaging?
Oh, yeah. It's terrible. I'm like a monster.
Gross.
I mean, if it works.
Yeah, it gets the job done.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So on the topic of
sad.
No, it's all good, man. I mean, I understand it's difficult, especially when you're out on the road. But it's like, that caught me off guard. We've never gotten that one before.
I love fruit snacks, but like, I can't live off fruit snacks. I'd be in trouble if I.
Exactly.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, it's valid. So on the topic of food, if the band was a dish, what dish would the band be, and why?
Oh man, it's tough. I feel like we're like a little spicy. But like gosh, that's a good question.
Thank you.
I would say macaroni and cheese, but like Chipotle macaroni and cheese.
Ooh,
that sounds good.
Ooh, that sounds really
good. I don't know. I feel like there's like a level of like comfort to, at least for us, like what Sons does, like what we do. But then you like pop in a little spice. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Love
it. So for the last couple questions, we're going to shift completely away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Last meal. I feel like my go-to is always sushi. I'd probably do sushi. Yeah, and a drink. It's hard to like find the right drink that's gonna go with sushi.
Mhm.
Nothing like sake, I guess, but my go-to is always whiskey or bourbon. I'd probably go with a bourbon.
Fair enough. All right.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Do you have a
The
specific
perfect blend.
Oh, do you have a
It's a
specific
classic.
sushi roll?
Usually I'll just do like tuna or salmon avocado.
Ooh,
Sounds good.
based. That's a good choice. Yeah,
Yeah, can't go wrong.
exactly. So,
Mhm.
if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Harry Potter,
You have a house?
hands down. So I'm Gryffindor according to the Sorting Hat
hmm
at the lot in Warner and what's it called
Universal.
in LA. Yes.
Oh wow!
Yes.
So you went to the actual the
Yeah,
Universal
so-
thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I don't know at the lot. I don't think they filmed anything there, but
Mhm.
they had like the Sorting Hat. We got a like tour of the whole back lot, which was awesome. And they like put it on all of us, and like it made sense. I think if like a little smoke and mirrors, I think she like hits what it should be according to like the person she's putting on. So, but I did take the test as well, and I got Gryffindor as well. So,
Oh, so it was right.
I think
So the
I'm
lady
Gryffindor.
pressing the
Yeah.
button was
Yeah,
right.
I know she got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think she got it.
All right. So I have the honor of asking the last question, and every single person that we've spoken to have said that it is the most important question.
Mhm.
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Specific shade of blue?
Like I would say sky blue if I had to pick.
Okay.
Hmm.
Nice.
Good
Yeah.
pick.
So as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Go listen to the album, catch us on tour this fall if we're coming to your city, and yeah, hopefully we'll sing some songs with you.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, thank you for now. This has been
Sweet.
Andy from Young Rising Suns, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.